A very good afternoon to all our viewers and welcome to our lunchtime prime news coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Center here in Colombo. I'm Joel Outskoon. We start off with a look at this afternoon headline making stories. Chief Prelate of the Askiri chapter, Most Venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakita Thera passes away. Sri Lankans who were evacuated from war-torn Yemen to Djibouti arrive in the island today. Group of burglars connected to several homicides and other crimes apprehended in Watala. Special transportation facilities for those heading to their hometowns for the festive season. And on to our top story this afternoon. The Chief Prelate of the Askiri chapter of the Siam sect, the Most Venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakita Thera, passed away early this morning. The Prelate was 85 years old at the time of his passing.
A son was born to Jayasundara Mudyanslage Punchi Bandara Nilame and Jayasundara Mudyanslage Mutumanike on the 17th of March 1930 in Udugama Kurunagala. This child, Jayasundara Mudyanslage Amrasinghe, attended the Udugama school for his primary education. However, after the untimely death of his mother, Amrasinghe became a member of the Buddhist clergy in 1945 as Udugama Sri Buddharakita Thera. Not only was he a novice monk who was well versed in Piriven education, he was also vested with all responsibilities of the Lankan Vihara in 1951. With Most Venerable Udugama Sri Ratanapala Thera being raised to the position of Anunaik of the Askiri chapter, Venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakita Thera entered the Askiri Vihara in 1955 and served at the temple until the death of his mentor. Venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakita Thera was given the prestige task on Theva activities at the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic and engaged in his duties for decades. Venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakita Thera was appointed to the Most Karmacharya of the Askiri chapter in 1957 and was later appointed to the Mahasangha Working Committee of the Askiri Mahavihara in 1966. Venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakita Thera was appointed to the post of Chief Incumbent of the Rangiri Dambula Raja Mahavihara in 1992, and after the demise of Venerable Yatavara Sangharakita Thera in 1998, Venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakita Thera was appointed as the Anunaik of the Askiri chapter. After the demise of the late Chief Prelate of the Askiri chapter, Most Venerable Palipana Sri Chandananda Thera in 1999, Venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakita was made the Chief Prelate of the Askiri chapter on the 31st of December that year. Venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakita Thera not only served at the Askiri Mahavihara, but also served the Askiri chapter, the whole Sasana, the country and the world. The final rites of the late Chief Prelate will take place in Kandy on the 12th of this month. A discussion on the final rites and the future of the Askiri chapter took place this morning at the Askiri Mahavihara in Kandy, convened by the Working Committee of the Askiri chapter. The meeting was chaired by the Anunaik of the chapter, Most Venerable Sri Attadasi Thera. The Diyavadana Nilame and security personnel were also present for this meeting.
We regret to announce the passing away of Most Venerable Mahanaik of the Askiri chapter. Full honours will be conferred at the Mahanaika's funeral. It will be a state funeral with full state honours, and we are planning to have the funeral either on the 11th or 12th, but the final date will be decided by the Askiriya Sangha Sabha. They will be meeting this morning to discuss on the matters.
Moving on to more local news this afternoon. The Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment says that measures are underway to bring the group of Sri Lankans who reached Djibouti aboard a Chinese vessel from Yemen to Sri Lanka today. Deputy General Manager of the Bureau, Mangala Randhaniya, said that the necessary financial allocations have been made for this purpose. The Foreign Employment Bureau and the Ministry of External Affairs are taking all necessary measures to bring the Sri Lankans back to the island. The Deputy Minister of External Affairs and the Minister of Foreign Employment held a special discussion in this regard. Accordingly, the Foreign Employment Bureau was granted permission to use up to 5 million rupees to cover the expenses in bringing back the Sri Lankan employees to the island. These individuals will be arriving in the island via Qatar Airways. All activities are coordinated by the Sri Lankan Embassy in Kenya. Meanwhile, Mangala Randhaniya went on to note that the other Sri Lankans who are stranded in Yemen could notify the Bureau if they wish to return to the island. He said that all facilities for this would be provided.
Yemen
5 Sri Lankans have been brought down to the island. There's another Sri Lankan migrant worker who is a lady who was evacuated with a group of Filipinos and are currently on their way to Saudi Arabia. She will be handed over to the group of officials from the Bureau and will be brought back to Sri Lanka soon. In news from the Parliament this afternoon, Parliament is scheduled to convene at 1 this afternoon, presided by Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa. Now, according to a correspondent in the Parliament, Sripal Waniarachi, during the party leaders' meeting scheduled for tomorrow and the day after, a debate on the 19th Amendment to the Constitution will take place. He also went on to note that it is expected that the Speaker may present the Supreme Court interpretation on the 19th Amendment to the Constitution today. He also said that the debate on the 19th Amendment to the Constitution will only take place after the Supreme Court decision is announced. Now, moving on to some weather news this afternoon, the Department of Meteorology says that showers of more than 100 millimeters could be expected in several parts of the island today. Meanwhile, according to our correspondent, several villages in Valigama, Mathura, which come under the purview of the Valipitiya Divisional Secretariat, have come under water due to heavy showers experienced. Several schools which come under the purview of the Valipitiya Divisional Secretariat have also been closed today owing to the prevalent weather. Locals say that the area floods due to the improper drainage system in the Valipitiya area in Valigama. They request that a mechanism for the water to recede be implemented. Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology says that more showers could be expected over the most parts of the island and sea areas around the island due to the low-level disturbance in the atmosphere. The weather forecast for the day issued by the department states that showers or thunder showers will occur at several places towards the inland of the island during the afternoon or evening. The Met Department says that showers or thunder showers could be expected in several areas of the eastern, northern, north-central, northwestern and Uva provinces, adding that strong winds could be expected in coastal areas. Now, with the Sinhalese and Tamil New Year drawing closer, the Transport Authority has taken steps to provide special transport services for passengers who wish to travel to their hometowns in view of the festive season. Deputy Manager of the Sri Lanka Transport Board, Raja Gunathilaka, noted that this special bus service will continue until the 16th of this month. Meanwhile, the National Transport Commission noted that special transport services will be provided for passengers together with private buses. A special transport service will be provided to passengers in view of the festive season. This bus service will be provided to passengers who wish to travel outstation from Colombo Central and will travel to areas till the 16th of this month. From the 16th to the 21st, a special bus service will be available for those who wish to travel back to Colombo. Apart from the buses that will be travelling according to a schedule, 3,842 buses will be used to provide this service. For example, if a passenger wishes to travel 10 to 15 kilometers away from the Kandy town, then the Transport Authority will provide this bus service to passengers as well as per their request. We have erected special information centres in relevant bus halls that is open for 24 hours in order to assist passengers. Touching on one of our headline-making stories this afternoon, a group of thugs accused of several murders and criminal activities have been arrested in Wattala. Police say that the arrest was made when they had arrived in an area with a van. During the arrest, the police had also confiscated a three-wheeler used by the thugs. The suspects are being questioned on detention orders. Meanwhile, police say that the cause of death of the Indian couple who were found dead in a hotel room in Vellavathu recently is yet to be ascertained. Police media spokesperson ASP Ruwan Gunasekara stated that the post-mortem examination was carried out at the Kalabolu Teaching Hospital. Gunasekara also added that the post-mortem examination report had not fully ascertained the cause of death. He added that the deceased woman of Indian nationality was pregnant at the time of her demise. Meanwhile, the bodies of the victims are being sent to the government analysts for further investigations. In more local news this afternoon, a group of employees of the Godakavela District Hospital staged a demonstration today. The group staged their demonstration obstructing the Ratnapura Ambalapitia main road, charging that their daily functions are hampered due to the dilapidated state of the ambulance at the hospital. Well, it's time for us to wrap up lunchtime news here on MTV Sports. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Joel Outskun. But before wrapping up, here's a reminder that you could log on to our website, www.newsfirst.lk. Have yourself a great evening ahead.